Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to be discussing my makeup empties. I don't know why I went to blah, 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 right in the beginning of the video, but yes, if you don't know what this series is, basically every single year I collect my makeup empties specifically, and also perfume, but we'll do that in a different video that I'm going to film right after this one. So I basically collect my makeup empties of the entire year. I don't show them to you in my skincare beauty empties, which I do every 2 months. I save all my empties till the end of the year, and then we kind of do like one video where I sit and talk about all the products that I used up in the entire year, what I will repurchase possibly, what I won't repurchase if I have already repurchased something, and also kind of share with you like how many products I used up in a specific category by the end of the year. And I am planning on doing an empties analysis of like the past 5 years, like only makeup empties analysis, which I will probably do towards end of 2025. So then we have the stats of next year as well. But any which ways, let's jump into this video because I have a bag that is, I wouldn't say full, but there are definitely a lot of products in here. So without any further ado, we should jump right into this. Now I don't have any blush empties to show you here, but I do remember that I used up my Tarte Exposed blush up completely, and for some reason it is not in here. I had repressed it. I tried to repress it and like, you know, get it done in that way. So then would I say it's technically an empty? I think I would not call it a technical empty then, because I didn't completely use up everything. But yes, I did hit pan on it. I used up as much as I could. I tried to repress it, I messed it up, and then I threw it away. So maybe we should not count it in an empty then. But the other face product that I do have, and this is the only one, which is why I'm sharing it first, otherwise we'll go in the typical order. Now this is the Tarte Contour de Force face palette, which you can see right here, and you can see one shade over here which is completely empty, which is the contour shade. So this I have completely used it up, and before I went ham and purchased a ton of more international makeup products, this was one of my favorite contour shades to use. So shit I am so happy that I completely used it up after so many years of owning this. It's definitely expired. Like if you look at the expiry date on this product, it is way beyond expired, but it still worked amazing for me. It did not break me out or anything, and the formula was still perfectly fine. And I've actually repurchased this already as well, but I have a single now. I don't have the entire palette. What I'm going to do with this palette is probably ask my friends if they want the highlight or the blush which is in here, and then I can just declutter this, because it wouldn't make sense to just throw it away when only one of the products is empty and the other two are still perfectly there and I haven't used too much product on them. So yes, this will be going to one of my friends, but I'm so happy to completely use. This is the first time I've used up a contour shade completely. Like I've had blush empties, but I've never had a contour bronzer empty till this one. So very excited to hit that goal in 2024. Then moving on, next let's talk about loose powders. We have quite a few loose powders to mention. I have 4 over here. We have firstly the Colourpop No Filter setting powder. Now this one I really enjoyed a lot. It was the translucent shade. I would say that it is a really nice loose powder which is mattifying on the skin. So most of my recommendations are coming as someone who has normal combination skin. At the same time, I do get shiny throughout the day. So what I need for my loose powder is to not make me shiny throughout the day, first of all, to keep me shine free all day, to work with the existing skincare that I have underneath, because once I do like my entire skincare routine, the last step is sunscreen, and then on top of my sunscreen I put the loose powder. So this does not pill with the sunscreen that I'm using or the skincare I'm using underneath, which I really like. It's got a really nice finish, which is mattifying, which is not exactly pole blurring I would say, but it's got a very nice matte finish on the skin. It's pretty oil free. It does not make me very shiny. I mean, everything does make me a little bit shiny by the end of the day, but I don't look like a grease ball at the end of the day. So that I do really like about this. That being said, would I necessarily recommend this to you, like go out and buy it right now? No, I wouldn't. If you are getting this at a good offer, like a buy one get one on Colourpop, then yes, you can buy maybe 2 of these, or you can buy like the eyeshadow palette like I did along with this, just to try out the product and see. It is pretty good. I think it lasted me, I want to say, about 2-ish months, because I do use it every day, so keep that in mind. The quantity you get in here, which is around 8.5 grams, would last you about 2-ish months if you're using it regularly every single day. That being said, let's move on to the next one, which I did initially give a good review, but now when I'm looking at all the loose powders at the end of the year, I will say this is not one of my favorites, since it is one of my least favorites. It is the Mars Trend Setting Powder. Now this one I had in the shade translucent as well, yes, matte translucent. Now this one has a great finish when you apply it. It's very softly milled, looks like nothing on the skin basically when you put it on, but it does make you shiny just after a couple of hours of wearing it. So even though it is a very affordable loose powder, if you're looking for something which is like 200-300 rupees and you want something that is super cheap, this would be great. But if you have oily skin, I think you're just like wasting your money, to be very honest, by buying this, because it's going to make you shiny and it's not going to give you the mattifying result that you want for the entire day. If you have dry skin, then you would probably not have a problem with that at all. So as an affordable option, this would probably work great for you. That is the second one. The third one is Verified's what is this called, IRL Paris Airbrush Powder. Now this one in specific was I would say one of the most pricey ones that I bought. For some reason, I think even the Nykaa one should have been in here. I don't know why that is not in here. That would be like the 5th loose powder which I used up this year, but we'll come to that in a bit. Speaking about Verified's IRL Paris Filter Airbrush Powder, now this one came with the most product. Apparently it says it's got 20 grams of product, but this looks as small as you know, something like this. So I don't know how they necessarily calculate the amount of product that you're getting and then keeping like the packaging in mind. It looks basically the same, like the size is same, everything is the same. So I don't know how they have managed to put 20 grams in itna chota sa dabba. So I mean, that is one thing, but apart from that, this formula is supposed to be really great, because it's the same that they have in their the pressed powder. Basically it's the same formula but in a loose form, and you're getting more product is what they claim. It's also quite pricey as compared to a lot of other loose powders, which, like I told you, I have tried out this year, and this I would say is, I cannot say it's worth it for the price, to be very honest with you, because I didn't find it to be like the best, so I cannot call it worth the money in that sense. I will say there are definitely options which cost cheaper, which I like more. At the same time, this was not bad either. It worked well with all my other skincare and, you know, sunscreen, etc. It gave me a really nice finish, I would say comparable to the Colourpop one, where it does not keep me matte throughout the day, yet at the same time it's not, you know, like the Mars, which got oily very quickly. So it's a good formula. Just for the price, I cannot recommend it, but yes, I bought it, I tried it out, I used it up completely, and it's not a bad product, yet it's not something I'm going to push and recommend everyone to get because of the price tag. Moving on, let's talk about the Nykaa one, because that one is not here for some reason, and I would say that is one of my favorites as compared to the rest of the loose powders that I spoke about till now. The reason being for that is it is more on the affordable side, and you can also get it at, you know, great offers. Like for example, I have seen it at buy one get one offers as well during the Pink Friday sale which just went, and I think in the future also you will see this product at discounts. So it's not like if you missed this discount you will never find it on discount again. You definitely will. So just keep an eye out for it. And I have the shade Banana, which I got, and it's got a beautiful finish on the skin, works well with the skincare sunscreen. A lot of the things I'm saying between these products are not that different from each other, so that's why I'm saying none of the products are bad. I'm just thinking about how much they cost, and also the overall finish and the end result that you get with these products. Like with Nykaa, it is affordable, yet it's as good as Verified or Colourpop, which is why I feel better recommending that as compared to recommending any of the other ones. So yes, even though I have to figure out why it's not in here, it's something that I highly recommend you check out, and if of course if you haven't already. And then the last one, which was the fifth one, is the K Beauty HD loose powder in the shade Banana. Now this one specifically was my earlier favorite. This is probably the second or the third one that I have bought since trying it out for the first time, and it's one that is again comparable to Nykaa, and if you didn't know this, K Beauty is also under the same parent company basically. So K Beauty manufactures a lot of Nykaa's products. If you look at the manufacturing information, like over here, the marketed by also says Nykaa. On K Beauty it says Nykaa dash KK Beauty Private Limited. It's also manufactured by the same company, which is Reggie India Cosmetics Private Limited, and a lot of their teams are also overlapping. So I don't know how it works for their side, but K Beauty is a little bit more expensive, and I will say the formula is a little bit more actually I should say K Beauty's formula is a little bit less oily skin friendly as compared to Nykaa, I feel like, which is more oily skin friendly. I don't know if there's a real formulation in the difference or if it's just my head that's making it up, but if I had to repurchase one out of the two, I'll definitely repurchase Nykaa because that one is already cheaper, and at the same time you can get it at buy one get one offers. For K Beauty, the best offer that I have personally seen it and purchased products at is 30% off. More than that, they don't do any discounts, so keep that in mind if you are thinking about buying one or the other. But yeah, those are it for the loose powders that we have. So we have 5 empties of those in total. Let's quickly move on next to eyeliner, because this is one of those categories which will not take too much time. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eyeliners in total, which are faces. Are all of them faces? Okay, these are faces. This is faces. So I have 4 faces and I have 1 color bar. Both of these I feel like are basically the same formula. I treat them like interchangeable, to be very honest, which I have told you in the past as well. Both of them are super duper matte. Currently what I'm wearing on my eyes is the color bar one, and in fact I should say that I have 6 empties and not 5 empties, because even the one that I'm currently using, I'm basically trying to get every last bit of product out of it, so that is why I didn't put it in the empties yet. But I know that by the time this year is up, that one is also going to be empty. So in total this year I've used up 6 eyeliners, which means average like 2 months ish it takes me to use up one. I do feel like the faces one gets over quickly or dries up a little bit quickly, but it's also more affordable, and it's usually also out of stock a lot of times on Nykaa. So I'm assuming this product is very popular, which is why everyone is buying it, and that's the reason it is usually out of stock. So if you're not able to get the faces one, you can still get the color bar, what is it called, all matte eyeliners. So I'm going to link both of them down below. Whichever is available in stock, you can decide to buy that one. And I have 6 empties in total. I love them. I will continue to repurchase them. Now I forgot to mention, in terms of loose powders, the only loose powder which I see myself repurchasing is probably going to be the Nykaa one, but that also I don't see myself repurchasing in 2025, because currently I have a huge stock of loose powders which I need to go through, especially a lot of the ones that I bought from US. So yes, we are going to take a break in terms of buying any more loose powders in 2025. Then in terms of eyebrow products, I have only one. This is the Plum I Swear by eyebrow definer. Now I usually only go through one eyebrow pencil a year, because I just lightly go through my eyebrows with them, and I don't really use too much product. It's just very light definition and just filling in basically, so that they don't look bare as compared to like the rest of my face basically. So I wanted to repurchase this, but this is also something like, I have the shade grey, which was out of stock for the longest time on Plum's website where I was trying to buy it from, and I knew I'm going to go through this pretty quickly, like I was about to run out of it. So then I was like, if this is not available in stock, I just have to find something else. So I did repurchase the Etude. I purchased the Etude House one instead of repurchasing this one. If I see it in stock later on, and if I'm about to use up the Etude House one, then I might go back to this, or I'll just continue repurchasing the Etude House one. It doesn't really matter to me. I just need something that is a little bit of definition in the eyebrows. So I'm not brand loyal, but yes, I don't want to buy something which is off color. So I'm definitely going to stick to like a dark gray shade, because I know that those usually tend to suit my eyebrows. So that is one eyebrow empty that we have. And then I have one nail paint empty only. Usually I have more than this, but this year I feel like I haven't been using nail paints a ton. Like even right now my nails are bare, and I have been meaning to repaint them, but I've just not been able to get around to doing it. This is the shade Nutcracker Dreams, and yes, I have already repurchased it. It's from the Nykaa matte nail lacquer line. Now this is a really beautiful nude. In fact, this is the shade that I had on my nails right before I took it off because it had been a while and it chipped. Eventually it lasts, I would say, for about a weekish, where after like 5 days you start see the chipping, and then by the week point, like the 7-day point, it starts chipping, I would say, too much. You can still, I mean, if you don't mind having chips in your nail paint, you can still wear it for longer, but I usually tend to, I want to make it a weekly routine where every week, maybe on Sunday or something, because it's holiday for me now, I am repainting my nails and then having it for the entire week, and then, you know, again taking it off on Sunday and then repainting them, something of that sort. But right now it's not something I've been doing regularly, and I feel like because I haven't been doing it regularly this year, that's why I don't have too many nail polish empties to share with you. This one, however, like I said, I've repurchased already, and I am hoping to use up more nail paints in 2025, or at least if I'm not using them, I'll just declutter them. Right now I have a pretty big collection considering the fact that I'm not painting them super regularly, so that is something we need to work on for sure in 2025. So yeah, that's my only nail paint empty. Now I have definitely saved the best for the last, which is my lip products, and I have way too many lip products to share with you, so let's jump into that. I have only one bullet lipstick, and then the rest, that is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 liquid lipsticks and one bullet lipstick. That is total 8 lipsticks, like 8 lipstick empties in 12 months, which I feel like is amazing. And the best part is a lot of these were not products that I was like focusing on using up completely. It just tend to happen more organically, and some I was actually surprised that I ended up having to either retire them because of some of the other reasons. So let me talk about those first. Two of the products which I know are not necessarily empties, but the packaging basically gave up on me. The applicator on both of these has broken off. The first one is the Maybelline Super Stay Matte Ink. This one is in the shade Ruler. If you can see, the applicator on this basically broke off, and this is quite an old one, so I feel like I was basically down to finishing it up eventually. But yes, the applicator did break off, so now I cannot use it anymore, so I have to consider this one as an empty. Now what happened with the verified one, the same thing happened, like you can see, but this one is the shade Red Velvet Cupcake, and I had not used it as much. I've not even had it for that long, so to have it happen with this one, I was actually quite disappointed, if I'm going to be completely honest. But there is clearly nothing I can do anymore with it, so I'm going to have to retire this one as well. I will not be repurchasing either of them. This one obviously I won't repurchase because the formula is not my absolute favorite, and neither is the color my absolute favorite, so it doesn't make sense to repurchase it. And when it comes to the Maybelline Ruler shade, now this specific shade I'm a really big fan of, but there are other formulas where, you know, it's basically the same shade but it's a better formula, so I would rather repurchase those than this. So these two I'm going to keep aside. Now let's quickly talk about the Maybelline bullet lipstick. This was in the shade Touch of Spice. It was one of the bullet lipsticks I knew. First of all, it was one of the last few that I had in my collection. I still have 2 more, but not 2 more actually, I have more than that. But out of the ones I'm using actively, like mostly you see me in nudes or you see me in these kind of like mid-tone pinks. So this was a more nude shade, but I would say it was a little bit on the cool tone side. It was like a cool toned, slightly lilacish pink, and that is what it looks like on me. On a lot of people it looks more like a true nude pink, and lipsticks definitely differ based on your skin tone, so you will have to try out a lipstick. Even if I tell you like, oh, this is this shade, on you it could look completely different. Like certain lipsticks on my friends look like nude, but on me they look brown. So that is something you always have to keep in mind with lipsticks. We all have our own shade and we have our lip pigmentation, and different lipsticks look different on different people. So anyways, speaking about the formula, this is not a very long lasting formula, and I'm also not a big fan of bullet lipsticks anymore, because yes, they are comfortable, and during the winter time I tend to prefer them because liquids can definitely be very, very drying on my lips. But throughout the year I will always stick to my liquid lipsticks, which is why you can see so many liquid lipstick empties as compared to my bullet lipstick collection, which is barely there. So yes, that is like the main reason that I'm not repurchasing it. And apart from that, the formula is also not that great. I think earlier it was a really great formula, but now we have so many better formulas out there that this is not just that great. But it's like a classic MAC lipstick, you know, it's never going to go out of style. And I'm sure that there are people who still love this formula because they like bullet lipsticks and they like a comfortable lipstick and they don't care about longevity, but I do. So just something I'm not going to personally repurchase, but it's a great formula regardless. Speaking about that, let's talk about one of my favorite formula. This is the Plum Matte in Heaven liquid lipstick. Yes, you have not seen me talk about them in a while because I have been trying and testing out other lipsticks and using other lipsticks in my collection, but I did empty out 2 of the lipsticks that I had in my collection. One of the shade is Cocoa Mocha obviously, and the other is Toast Wanted. Toast Wanted I used up a while back, and this is like a brown but slightly pink brown, if you can see. And I was mixing and matching it and using it, and I really loved and enjoyed using this. I'm not really sure if I am going to repurchase this shade, to be honest, because on its own it's not one of my favorites. Yes, I loved using it as a mixer and I tried to use up everything that I possibly could out of this, so I won't repurchase this shade. But this formula is definitely still one of my favorites and I would highly recommend it. In fact, it's one of those formulas that you can barely find some of your favorite shades in stock sometimes, because that's how popular it is and it's constantly selling out. So that is probably why Plum is not able to keep it in stock. And then the other shade, which is Cocoa Mocha, is a brown. Now this one is again like something I was mixing and using, because even Toast Wanted is a brown, but it's a more pinky brown. This one is a more true brown, so I used to mix it with other lipsticks to make the shade work for me. And on its own I used to wear it sometimes, but not always. So again, would not be repurchasing this shade specifically, but I absolutely love the formula. And I still have one more shade which is actually my second one. So the shade Truffle Teas I used up in the past, then I repurchased it, and I currently have the second one in my collection still. So I'm glad to not be missing this formula because I still have more in my collection. Then we have one more verified liquid lipstick. Now this one did not break. This one actually I ended up using up. It's the shade Rose Roulade. It is one of those really pretty like pinks, similar to what I'm wearing right now on my lips. I have multiple shades which are this exact color, and I definitely feel like this is one of my most worn colors in 2024, because I have 2 more shades, like 2 more lipsticks which I'm going to talk about next, which are also the exact same shade. So definitely not going to repurchase this formula, like I said, because it's not one of my favorites. But these 2 I am thinking about which one to repurchase and which one to not. So let's talk about these next. I have Nykaa's Matte to Last liquid lipstick in the shade Soul Sister, and I have Miss Claire Matte Powered Lip Color. Now both of these I very organically used up because I was just reaching for them so like constantly that I didn't even realize कि ये कब खत्म हो गया. So this one, like for example, I took with me to US also because I was thinking that I want to have this shade in my back pocket whenever I want to wear something like this. I'll throw this on, but I think I used it just once or twice and it had completely dried up. So yes, this is something I'm again considering repurchasing. And also this formula is also one that I really like, the Miss Claire liquid lipstick, like the matte powered lip color formula, and it is the same shade as well. Like all of these shades are basically the same thing, so I just need to figure out which formula I want to repurchase, maybe which one I get on the best offer. And yes, they might look a little bit different. Like this one looks more brighter and like more red, whereas this one looks more nude and a little bit more like, it doesn't look as pop poppy and bright. I feel like, so there might be a little bit of a difference, but when it comes to like putting it on your lips and what the lipstick looks like with the overall look, I feel like there is not really much of a difference. So they are all very comparable to me in my collection, and I just have to decide which one I want to repurchase, because right now I think ये वाला जो shade है मेरे collection में नहीं है, apart from what I have currently, which is a bullet lipstick, and that also I am close to using up. So it's something you're going to potentially see me use up in 2025. So once that is done, then I will probably decide which one out of all these I want to repurchase. So that is it for all my makeup empties. So I have 5 loose powders, 6 eyeliners, 1 eyebrow pencil, 1 contour powder, and then 8 lipsticks and 1 nail paint. So that is my total makeup tally for this year, like all my makeup empties basically. And let me actually count. So 5, 6, 12, 13, 21, 22. We have about 22-ish empties for this year, which I wish I had touched the 24 goal. बहुत ही सही हो जाता अगर 24 empties होते 2024 में, but unfortunately हम 22 पे ही रुक गए हैं. Yes, there are a couple of days left for this year to end, but I don't think I'm going to be ending up like using up 2 more products before the year ends. इसलिए मैंने सोचा कि मैं makeup empties अभी कर लेती हूँ, because I don't see myself using up any more products in the couple of days that we have left. So yes, I'm very excited for my project pan and my 2025 makeup goals, like for my collection, as well as how many more products I'm going to use up in 2025. So yes, if you enjoy this series, then do let me know down below, and also let me know what kind of content you want to see in terms of makeup empties, project pans, etc. in 2025, because I'm currently working and thinking on what I want to do with that. So your suggestions and your input would be really helpful. And of course, you guys already know this, I've mentioned it so many times, that we are currently in Vlogmas, where I am posting a video every single day. So please make sure that you catch up on all the content that I've already posted this month, and also there is a lot more content coming up for the rest of the days. So stay tuned for that. But that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to see you again tomorrow. Bye guys. Bye bye.